Today I will be teaching you step-by-step recipe for the samosa chaat. I will be honest with you, I'm not teaching you how to make samosas. That's just the entire different recipes. And some people do make samosas and then freeze it up. So when you make a samosa chaat, you have the samosas ready. I personally buy the samosas, frozen samosas, and use them for my recipe, and I'll teach you which brand and which kind of samosas I use. Our recipe is different than other Indian recipes. Most of the Indian recipes are healthy, but we use a lot of complex carbohydrate and they're very heavy on the carbohydrate side. So my goal was to add more protein in this diet so you have a well-balanced diet. Before we get started, let me tell you, I'm Aditi Patel. I am a creator for Therapeutic Diet Plan, and I also have several videos on exercise and educationals on the chronic pain and a persistent pain. So if you're interested, please check that out. I have soaked this piece about 6 hours or so. Now I'm gonna add, I have about, I would say, 2 inches of water on the top of the piece. And then I will add a 1 teaspoon of Himalayan pink salt. I'll turn the Instapot on manual. And I will, a piece usually takes a long time. So I will cook them for about 40 minutes. And one more thing, I have a tip that I don't like to get my house messy. So I usually put the valve into the steamer and not into the air, coming out of the air mode. So right there, and we'll give it time for about an hour or so for them to be done and cool down and ready to come out. So for sweet pea curry, I have cooked the sweet peas in the Instapot and they're ready to go. Then I have a half a block of tofu, which is chopped up, and 1 Roma tomato, some green chilies, which is completely optional. I have 2 coins of ginger here, and I have some green onions, just a little bit, maybe 1/4 of a cup. I just took one green onions here. I have 1 cup of water, and I have my spices here, which is 1 teaspoon of turmeric, 1 teaspoon of garam masala, 1 teaspoon of cumin and cilantro combined, and 1 teaspoon of red chili and a Himalayan pink salt. We'll be combining tofu on the bottom, and then tomatoes. I want you to keep the green chili separate, and then 2 blocks of ginger, all the spices, and about 1 cup of water. Mix all in, and we're gonna blend it in the, so let's blend it in the blender. So I have an oil here already heated up at the medium-high heat, and then the first thing I will do is put the green onions in there, and I'm gonna saute that for about a minute or so. Now the green onions has become brown, then I'm gonna add the chilies in there.
It's completely optional.
And saute that was an optional. And saute that for a few minutes. And next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna pour the puree and let it cook for about 3 minutes, because we want to let the tofu get cooked up and the tomatoes and stuff for about 3 minutes here, covered. So here is the tip. You know, I don't like to waste anything, and I know there's a lot of stuff in here. So what I do, I will take a little bit of water from my cooked peas, and I'm gonna pour it in there. I'm gonna give a nice shake, and then I will be adding all that stuff in here. That way you don't waste much of your puree. And then make sure you mix it really nice and good, and let it cook for about 3 minutes here. So the thing is ready to go. It's nice and boiling hot. Now we're gonna add the peas in it. And it's a little bit more watery. And it's at the high heat and let the water a little bit evaporate. And the peas needs to get a little bit more soaked in, and it will thicken up the curry. Pause. So it's about 10 minutes now. The curry is still a little bit thinner, so I'm gonna smash it a little bit with this smasher. And I have also added 2 teaspoons of red chili because I always like things red. It usually comes out a greenish and reddish color, but when we add tofu in it, it comes out at this white, little bit yellowish color. So I buy this chana dal samosa, deep samosa. They come out 50 samosas or so for $3 from Indian store. It's in a frozen section. And I use the samosa as my, with my sweet peas curry, and it tastes really good. It's completely optional. You don't have to have it on. If you're using a samosa for this recipe, just defrost them for a couple hours and then microwave them for about 1.5 minutes. So after you have microwave the samosas, you can deep fry them, or you can I use the air fryer, and it's healthier version. I highly recommend air frying and not deep frying. Just organize them. Pause. So after you have organized them, sprinkle a little bit of oil on the top to coat it, and mix it, shake it, air fryer for about 12 minutes. Now I have about 1 cup of curry here, and we're gonna garnish it. So I'm gonna put 1 cup of 1 tablespoon of green chutney or cilantro chutney. Pause. And then 1 tablespoon of red chutney. And these are samosas. You can either cut them in half, or you can put the whole thing. I would do about 3 of them to start with. And this is completely optional, but you can find this in an Indian store. It's called gram spicy noodles. It's a little spicy. It gives you a little flavor and crispiness to this dish. And then you're going to sprinkle this on the top, and it's ready to be served. Thank you so much for watching this. If you enjoyed this recipe and you think it can be helpful to somebody else, please share. Also comment below and tell me how it turned out, how you like it. I would love to hear from you. Also give me thumbs up. Thank you again for watching.